Megalithism is one of the most powerful and enduring expressions of prehistoric human creativity. It refers to the construction of monuments made from massive stones, often weighing several tons, placed and arranged without the use of metal tools, machinery, or advanced engineering technology. These structures can be found across vast areas of the world and date back thousands of years, demonstrating that early human societies possessed remarkable organizational, technical, and symbolic capacities. The term megalith originates from the Greek words megas, large, and lithos, stone. Megalithism is not a single culture, religion, or civilization, but rather a widespread architectural phenomenon that appeared independently in many regions of the world. Archaeological evidence shows that communities separated by oceans and continents developed similar stone-building traditions without direct contact, highlighting shared human responses to environment, belief, and social organization. The origins of megalithism are generally traced to the Neolithic period, when human groups shifted from nomadic hunting and gathering lifestyles to settled agricultural communities. This transition fundamentally reshaped human existence. Permanent settlements encouraged the accumulation of resources, long-term planning, and the emergence of leadership structures capable of organizing communal labor over extended periods of time. Agriculture created predictable seasonal cycles that demanded careful observation of nature. As communities became increasingly dependent on crops and livestock, understanding the movement of the sun, moon, and stars became essential. Megalithic monuments may have emerged as physical tools for reading time, encoding astronomical knowledge directly into the landscape. One of the most striking characteristics of megalithic monuments is their permanence. Unlike wood, earth, or plant-based materials, stone resists decay. By choosing stone, prehistoric builders made a conscious decision to construct monuments that would endure beyond individual lifetimes. These structures acted as repositories of memory, preserving ancestral presence and collective identity across generations. Megalithic architecture appears in a wide variety of forms. Menhirs are large stones set vertically into the ground, sometimes standing alone, and sometimes arranged in rows or alignments stretching across kilometers. Dolmens consist of upright stones supporting a massive horizontal slab and are frequently associated with burial chambers. Passage tombs, cairns, stone circles, and stepped platforms represent increasingly complex designs that required precise planning and spatial awareness. Stone circles are among the most iconic and visually striking expressions of megalithism. Their circular geometry is rarely accidental. Circles symbolize continuity, balance, and cosmic order. Many stone circles are aligned with solstices, equinoxes, or lunar events, indicating deliberate astronomical orientation rather than random placement. Astronomy appears to have played a central role in many megalithic societies. The ability to predict seasonal changes allowed communities to coordinate planting, harvesting, and ritual activity. By translating celestial movements into stone alignments, ancient builders created calendars that were both functional and sacred. Funerary practices are deeply intertwined with megalithism. Numerous dolmens and passage graves contain human remains, grave goods, tools, pottery, and ornaments. These discoveries suggest that megalithic monuments often functioned as collective burial spaces, reinforcing the idea of shared ancestry and communal identity rather than individual status alone. The relationship between the living and the dead was a defining feature of megalithic belief systems. Ancestors were not viewed as absent, but as active participants in the life of the community. Stones may have been perceived as vessels capable of housing ancestral spirits, memory, or protective power. Beyond ritual and burial, megalithic monuments also reshaped the social and political landscape. Their immense size and visibility transformed natural spaces into culturally meaningful territories. Erecting stone monuments asserted control over land, reinforced group boundaries, and communicated social cohesion to neighboring communities. The construction of these monuments required remarkable logistical coordination. Stones were quarried using stone tools, wooden wedges, and fire-setting techniques. Transporting blocks weighing several tons demanded coordinated human effort, utilizing sledges, rollers, ropes, and lubricants such as water or animal fat to reduce friction. Erecting stones into vertical positions required empirical engineering knowledge developed through trial and error. Earthen ramps, lever systems, counterweights, and gradual tilting methods allowed builders to raise massive stones with precision and safety. These techniques demonstrate sophisticated problem-solving abilities grounded in observation and experience. Experimental archaeology has repeatedly shown that such feats are achievable with simple tools and sufficient manpower. Modern reconstructions confirm that megalithic construction does not require lost technologies or supernatural intervention, but rather organization, cooperation, and time. As centuries passed and the original builders faded from memory, later cultures encountered these monuments without understanding their original purpose. This gap in knowledge gave rise to myths, legends, and folklore. In medieval Europe, megalithic structures were often attributed to giants, heroes, or ancient gods. Legends described giants carrying stones effortlessly across valleys and rivers, or supernatural beings placing monuments in a single night. These stories reflect both awe and the human tendency to explain extraordinary achievements through myth when practical knowledge is lost. In Celtic traditions, stone circles were frequently associated with the otherworld, a realm inhabited by spirits, ancestors, and divine entities. Certain times of the year, particularly solstices and seasonal festivals, were believed to activate these sites as gateways between realms. Across different cultures, megalithic monuments became focal points of mythic history. They were linked to legendary founders, culture heroes, or primordial ancestors who shaped the world and transmitted essential knowledge to humanity. The spiritual dimension of megalithism is fundamental to its interpretation. The enormous investment of labor suggests that these monuments fulfilled profound religious, cosmological, and social functions. They were not built for practical purposes alone, but as expressions of worldview and collective belief. One influential scientific theory proposes that megalithic monuments served as astronomical observatories or calendars. Alignments with sunrise, sunset, moonrise, and lunar standstills may have allowed communities to regulate agricultural cycles, ritual timing, and ceremonial gatherings. Another major theory emphasizes social cohesion. The collective effort required to build megalithic monuments reinforced cooperation, hierarchy, and shared identity. Participation in construction may itself have been a ritual act that strengthened social bonds. Some researchers have explored the psychological and sensory impact of megalithic spaces. Restricted light, acoustics, echoes, and monumental scale may have induced altered states of consciousness during rituals, intensifying spiritual experiences. Alternative theories propose the existence of lost advanced civilizations or external influences. Although popular in modern media, these ideas lack credible archaeological evidence and are rejected by mainstream scholarship. Modern archaeology views megalithism as the result of gradual innovation, cultural transmission, and adaptation to local environments. Knowledge was passed orally and practically across generations, allowing construction techniques and symbolic meanings to evolve over time. Megalithism ultimately represents humanity's desire to connect earth and sky, life and death, memory and landscape. These monuments stand as silent witnesses to ancient cooperation, belief, and imagination. In many regions, megalithic traditions persisted for centuries, evolving as societies changed. Stones were added, monuments modified, and rituals adapted, demonstrating that Megalithic sites were living spaces embedded within long-term cultural memory.